Welcome back to World of Warships Wednesdays. I am Bigby, and this is Too Much to Carry, the episode where your best is just not enough. We're going to be featuring a couple games this Wednesday, both games by myself, one in my Tier 3 Tenryu, as you can see here, and the other in my Tier 4 Kuma. I actually, just this past weekend, I spent some time working on going up the Japanese line, because I was encouraged to do so after my last week's review of the Tier 4 Karlsruhe in the German line, which you can see over here. And a commenter mentioned that, that I had gotten, perhaps I'd been that I really, my assessment of the Kuma during the Karlsruhe review had really not been accurate. And I had to admit that I hadn't actually played the Japanese line, and so the truth is I had spoken out of turn. So, in an effort to fix that, and because if I am going to be making videos of World of Warships, it probably is in my best interest to be playing as many of the different types of ships as possible, I went ahead and decided to get started on the Japanese line, and I have to say, I'm very glad I did. It's, while the starter ships were nothing to write home about, but even by the time I got to Tier 3, to the Tenryu, I was pleasantly surprised. These ships play, and I'll mention this later on in the review, very much like large destroyers. They have a very similar playstyle feel to playing destroyers, so if you've been playing destroyers, particularly if you've been playing the American destroyers, which are big and have somewhat shorter ranged torpedoes as opposed to their Japanese counterparts, these Japanese cruisers will actually feel very familiar. They have very much a very similar feel, although the guns are not as rapid firing as those on the American destroyers, and absolutely not as quick rotating. But this is not a review of the Japanese cruisers. I will probably be doing a review of the Kuma here at a later date. But basically, this video today is all about trying your darndest to carry a team of donkeys and just not being able to do it because it's just too big a load to carry. And with that, let's get to the replays. And here we are in a Tier 3 match in my Tier 3 Tenryu. As you can see, this is very much a Tier 3 match. We have a few Tier 2s in there, but it's almost entirely a Tier 3. Pretty good matchup, actually, fairly even. And here we go. We're going to get started. Now I'm situated here at the just about the far northern end of the starting line. And I'm kind of looking around, just basically trying to get an idea of where everybody else is going. This is one of those maps where you kind of, like any other, you want to stay together as a group. Don't wander off on your own. Now, I know that Dresden, I think, is going to head off to the north, but I'm seeing everybody else is kind of going to the south, so once I get going here, in just 1 second. And I'm going to let this Wakatake go by me here. The old walkie-talkie. And we get the motor going. And we're going to pick up some speed here. I was surprised by the Tenryu. It's a surprisingly nimble ship. It has a good array of torpedoes. The guns have some good punch, although, as typical for Japanese guns, they are on the slow side. So, that is a bit of an issue. And I'm just kind of looking out and I'm seeing, okay, yeah, everybody else is going the other direction. So I'm going to start heading on down in that direction, and I'm going to kind of try and get by this Samson here. And I'm seeing the Dresden over there, and we'll see more of him later. And Let's just gonna head on down there. I'm just gonna sort of speed up the recording just a little bit, just till we get to something with a little bit more action. And we'll just make sure I'm doing this correctly. Bump up the speed. Oh, that's actually jumping ahead. I'm sorry, that's not the speed up, that's the jump ahead. So we jumped ahead. Sorry about that. I took a shot at the Dresden. I think I got maybe one hit on him. Yeah, one hit. You can see up there in the corner. Nothing particularly exciting, and then I sailed out of range. And now we're starting to get into range of these other ships. We got some low tier 2s. I think I took a shot at that Shikuma. Tier 2 Shikuma. Yeah. I don't know if I hit it or not. I can't remember. I think I do. Don't kill it. Don't do any spectacular damage. Yeah, there we go. I think I knocked out his rudder probably with that hit, based on where I hit him on his ship, which was right at the very tail end. And I see this Dursky here, and so I'm thinking I'm going to try and lead him, but then I can see he's turning. And I throw some torpedoes there, but I know they're really not going to hit him unless he slows down. And I throw some on the other side of the island, but it's pretty much a futile gesture. So I open up on him with the guns. He's well out of range of his torpedoes. The Dursky only has 3-kilometer range on the torpedoes, just like the Tier 2 does. And I managed to get a good piece of him, get a couple hits on him, incapacitate something. And must not have been his engine, because he's still moving, probably knocked out a gun or something like that. And yeah, you can see some torpedoes dropped in the water. That other Dursky, Stanislavos, is really taking a beating. He's got some torpedoes in the water. And I'm watching this smoke screen. See that Dursky coming back. There we go. I was watching him to get another piece of him. And he's certainly well within the range of my torpedoes, but with this other destroyer in front of me, I don't want to risk sending torpedoes down range. So I just open up with the guns. And okay, we got torpedoes coming, so we got to watch those. We're going to turn. Oh, and then here's Stanislavos, and he is hurting, so I am going to put him out of his misery. Get one incapacitation. And there we go. That's kill number 1. Now you can see, if you look at it, we've already got, our team is already down. What am I seeing here? Oh, that's those. Yeah, he must have launched some torpedoes, but they died. Our team is already down. Well, now that we've pulled it even. And now we're 1 ahead. So this was back and forth for a little bit, but as you see, as I enter into battle with this St. Louis, the team just basically all of a sudden, within a very, very short period of time, this team just falls apart. They really... well, I mean, you'll see, there's I get most of the kills, almost all of the kills in this game go to me. I think we get a total of 8 kills. I get 4 of them, and the 4 other people get 1 each. So, kind of very much a fail by the rest of my team. There's only so much you can do to carry. And you see I'm lighting up the St. Louis. I got torpedoes in the water, but he knows they're there. Smart player. This guy is good. He turned. He avoided them. I'm just lighting him up with the guns. He's getting shot at from a couple different directions. I think he just doesn't know which way to fire. And I'm loading him up with the AP. And, that's Tier 3 against Tier 3. This is, the St. Louis versus the Tenryu is very much a Tier 3 thing. Now, so he's dropped a few on me. He's starting to pay attention to me a little bit. And I throw some more torpedoes in that general direction, but he is watching again. He's still inside my range, but notice as soon as I started dropping those torpedoes, he turned. He was watching me. He knew I was dropping torps. And he also had torpedoes coming from the other direction too, so... But I keep those guns on target, and these things are fairly high caliber guns, so they pack a punch, even though you only have 4 of them and they're very, very slow. They really do pack a punch. And it doesn't take much before you rack up another kill. Okay, so we got 2 down, and Zaralum on my team has 1 kill, and Psycho something, I can't read the rest of it. He's Psycho Fodder? Strangely spelled name. There's German 047. We'll definitely see more of him later. In his Dresden, which is also a Tier 3 ship. Now I'm going to take a few shots at him. Shots out, put a few more out a little further forward. Trying to get a feel for this guy is good. I got to give this guy credit. He definitely knows how to sail his Dresden. He was just very hard to hit. I mean, look, I'm landing shots all around him. I'm not hitting him. Now I see those torpedoes, and that has me worried that there's somebody coming from the other side. And there, he's shooting back at me. So got all credit to him. He played a great game this round. Well, he certainly sailed very, very well. And then I see that Umikaze coming. But I am focused on this Dresden. I'm trying to do damage to him. But look at how he's sailing. He is doing a masterful job of dodging my shots. Which, admittedly, maybe could have been aimed a little bit better on my part. But still, he did a very good job dodging. So, props to him. And torpedoes, there's obviously another destroyer down there. I don't know which one it is. But now I see this Umikaze, who's just sunk Slippery Devil in one of our other destroyers. And whoops, I make a little bit of a turning error here. And kind of bump into the Dursky. And have to slow way down to keep from ramming him real hard. But I dropped some torpedoes in the water. Oh, and that Dresden's starting to shell me. And now I go back to the guns. Sometimes you just have to go to the guns. And, you know, the Tenryu's guns, although they're slow, they pack enough of a punch. As you can see here, I'm doing some serious damage to the Umikaze. This thing is very dangerous towards destroyers. In many ways, it's very much like a destroyer leader. It's a very large destroyer. It really, really sails very, very much like one. And you can see here, boom. And I put the Umikaze down. So that's kill number 2. And he did fire some torpedoes, but too late. That South Carolina is actually AFK. Sliffen has been AFK the entire game. He has not moved out of the cap circle. I fire some torpedoes at him, but he is about 1.5 kilometers out of my range, so I'm not going to hit him. I'll go ahead and take some shots at him just to farm some points. And this Dresden is all up in my business. Oh, man. German 047 is just all over me. And I'm sorry before I misspoke. That Umikaze was kill number 3. So it's me and this Dresden. Now look how far down my team's gone. We are 1 down, and we got 2 cruisers, myself being one of them, and 2 destroyers. Unfortunately, the destroyers we have left are a Dursky and a Storskovoy. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce that. The Tier 2 and Tier 3, and they are like the worst and second worst of all destroyers in the entire game. So, and then there's me and the other cruiser who has 2 enemy destroyers on him right now, and he doesn't know it. And look at this. I put torpedoes out, and it's just me and this Dresden, mano a mano, going at it. And he kills me, but I didn't hit him with the torpedoes. That was a cannon shot. The shot was in the air, and it killed him just as I got killed. And just at that time, Zarelm, our other cruiser, got himself killed. How our torpedoes appear out of nowhere? Maybe they were just simply out of your detection range, buddy. Noob. So he clearly doesn't know how to, how the torpedo mechanics work yet. Very much a new guy. And so all we're left is the Storosavoy, with sailed by Psycho Fodder, probably the second worst destroyer in the game, and the Dursky, sailed by the Wiz of Oz. Dursky, of course, being the worst destroyer in the game. Both of these have 3-kilometer torpedoes. Both of them have terrible guns. These are not good destroyers at all, and the people sailing them. Look at this. Was sailing really slow, managed to get his engine knocked out. He's not using his repair to bring it back up. And so they've got, and these two, Deceptor and Budzuka, are doing all the work. In fact, we'll just take a quick look at this. Let's see, the German 047 got as many, the Dresden, he killed me and I killed him. We were each other's 4th kills. But the Wakatake has 2. The Umikaze that I killed earlier had 2. And Deceptor just got high caliber, and he's about to finish this guy off. Boom. There's number 3 for him. And where's Wiz of Oz? Well, he's way over here. The other end of the map. And now he's sailing right in between the Deceptor and the Wakatake, who has now 3 kills to his name. And who's the other one? That was Budzuka and the Samson, who has no kills, but he's certainly been working very closely with the other destroyer, and they've been definitely working together very well. So Wiz of Oz is just sort of sailing around, not really paying attention to where he's going, even though he has a big fat battleship right there on his screen. He could go over there and get him. Up, and here comes Budzuka and the Samson. Too late. Now you're caught between them. Now he's lit up. He's got 3-kilometer torpedoes. This guy's obviously a very new player. I'm not going to be too hard on him because he must be new, although he knew enough to put camouflage on his destroyers. So I don't know. I mean, he's in a tough position. I'll give him that. He's in between all these. He hasn't figured out that Sliffen is AFK, even though it's clearly obvious he's not moving. And he also clearly hasn't figured out the zoom feature because he can't aim to save his life. So I'm assuming he's just simply new and went for the Russians because he thought they would be cool, and just doesn't know what he's doing because he's a noob. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and we're going to go ahead and just speed this up a little bit. And because this has a very, very predictable ending. Yeah, he tries to throw some torpedoes, credit to him, but he sails straight into another one, and boom. And it's a defeat. As you can see, well, not a whole lot. I did get 1 award for it, but taken out by German 047 there in the Tier 2 Dresden right there towards the end. I did end up getting 4 kills, but as we go to the next screen, you'll see that I definitely scored the best out of any of my team. Bargo and his Tier 3 Wakatake got 1 kill. Zarolm, who was the second last cruiser left on my team in St. Louis, got himself 1 kill before he was taken out by the destroyers. Lego Maniac 11, nice name by the way, in his Tier 2 Samson did manage to get himself 1 kill. And then Psycho Fodder in the Storsavoy also got himself 1 kill early on. Unfortunately, he wasn't good enough to get any more after that, and that's most unfortunate. Everybody else on the team, every single other player did nothing whatsoever. Interestingly enough, the story as far as number of people who got kills was exactly identical on the other team. Deceptor there in the Wakatake got himself 4 kills as well. German 047 got himself 4 kills, myself being the 4th and him being my 4th. Stanislavas, who was my first kill in the Dursky, had already gotten himself 1 before I took him out. And Gecko and Umikaze got 2, and Razor and the Chikuma got 1, and that was enough. I mean, they very simply, they had better players on their team, and I could not carry my team well enough to do it. But if we look at the overall scores, I scored 11,308 AP shell hits. I threw a lot of AP in that game. 9,147 HE shell hits. 510 fire sets. Launched 33 torpedoes. Not one of them hit. I missed every single torpedo I threw. Well, what are you going to do? And you can see the kills. We already know what kills I got. Didn't kill any aircraft, and you know, that was pretty much it. So let's move on to the next replay. And here we are on the New Dawn map in my Tier 4 Kuma. And I thought I should just say a word about the Kuma. You know, as you'll remember, just recently I posted a review of the Tier 4 Karlsruhe, the German Tier 4 ship. And in that review, I referred to the Kuma, but I said, you know, it really wasn't, that it was just sort of a follow-on to the next one. And
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, Game Burglar. And to be honest, that was a bit of a misstatement. I really didn't know the Japanese ships that well, and I think I have to do a bit of a mea culpa, in that really I spoke. Yeah, that's me. I was being a wise guy. I spoke a bit out of turn. And the Kuma is really a very, very good ship. I would hazard a guess to say it's probably the best Tier 4 cruiser in the game so far. It's certainly it's much better than the Karlsruhe, and it is arguably better than the Phoenix. It has while it doesn't have as good guns, and it has significantly better torpedoes, and it's faster and more maneuverable. So it is in many ways probably the very best Tier 4 ship in the game. And there may be some who would argue with that, but based on my experience with it, and with the Phoenix, and with the Karlsruhe, I would say that right now the Kuma is definitely my favorite of the three. It really is a fantastic ship. It's particularly once, like I have it here, it's been fully upgraded.
Let's give them a hard time.
And okay, you can stop spamming the controller here. But at any rate, we're here on the New Dawn map. And you can see we're in domination mode here. So we've got 3 capture points, and I went ahead and head straight for the A point. And I've been detected, but I don't see anybody, which means there is a destroyer in the area. And I am going to put this ship to work. And we should be spotting it soon. I'm going to go ahead and get into the cap circle here and start capturing it. And as you can see, this thing's pretty quick, 34 knots. That's not bad. I mean, that rivals some of the destroyers at this. That rivals destroyers at this level. So, all right. So I'm going ahead and I'm starting the capture process. But I know I've been detected, which means there is absolutely going to be a destroyer here. I'm just not seeing them. Ah, there they are, and it's Mr. Ichabod Boat. And this thing has way more guns than the Tenryu did. They're bigger, and they fire much faster. I'm taking a little bit of damage from this guy, but... And my aim's a little off. But you can see these guns are impressive. I got a piece of him. And we're going to go ahead, and this thing has some good torpedoes as well. We're going to send some torpedoes downrange. And we're going to keep lighting them up with the guns. Now, he went ahead and shot torpedoes at either me or the other ship behind me, and was a very bad shot. Because they weren't even close to hitting me. And looks like I've taken out his engine, so he's slowing down. And thankfully, I think I hit him with this torp. I can't remember. Yep, there comes that torpedo. Does it hit him? Boom! Yes, it does. He does get another spread off, but I have more than enough time to get out of the way. This thing's very maneuverable. And we have captured the A point. So, we've taken out Ichabod as our first victim of the day. And now we're looking towards getting another kill. There's another Wix down there. Yubari. And I'm going to go ahead and take a few shots at the Yubari. And Wix keeps popping in and out. We're going to head straight on down towards B. And take another shot at the Yubari, but I don't think we hit him. And so, at any rate, regarding my previous assessment... Oh, yeah, there's a Wyoming right there. Regarding my previous assessment of the Kuma, it really is a very, very good ship. Especially once you've upgraded it and you have the sonar consumable and you have the airplane consumable, which you don't get on the first hull that this comes with. Oh, and it takes some shots, and hey, there's a Wakatake over there. Okay, whoops, and he has got some torps on me, but remember, this thing turns on a dime. Look at that. Very similar to the Tenryu at Tier 3, this thing is almost like a very large destroyer. It has the maneuverability of a destroyer and the speed of a destroyer, but it's got much more guns and it's got torpedoes. So, there we go, we've taken out his engine. And we're just going to keep lighting him up. He'll get out his engine again, which means he's used his repair kit. And, oh, he's popped smoke. We can't see him. But, oh, looks like, oops, we're so busy dodging his torpedoes, we don't notice that he got killed by the other cruiser that's with us. And that battleship sets us on fire, so we put the fire out. And then we realize, okay, oh, he's dead. So now we got this Wyoming over here. So, since we have HE loaded, let's just go ahead and unload on the Wyoming. Get all 6 guns firing. Yeah, this thing has a good, solid amount of guns on it, and they're big ones too. And these things are, I don't know if it'll. It's not gonna let me show you on the replay, unfortunately. But well, we'll do a full review of the Kuma probably in the next week or so. I'll definitely have a review of the Kuma up. I am really, really enjoying playing it. And from what I understand, the changeover to the Tier 5, the Furutaka, is quite a bit of a change. So I'm just going to really enjoy playing the Kuma while I've got it. And so we're still continuing to shoot at the Wyoming, but he's got his mind on something else. He is firing at a St. Louis, I think. Yeah, he is shooting at this St. Louis right over there, Mr. Hags 3, who is, I think, very much a new player because he makes some very, very bad mistakes. Now, I make a bit of a mistake coming up here, too. And it costs me, but it costs him more. But he makes an even worse mistake than I do. We'll just watch what he's traveling very, very slowly. He is completely focused on this battleship. And he really wants to kill this battleship. And you can see I'm getting a lot of good hits on him. I'm putting a lot of damage in on him. I'm like, okay, that battleship looks like he's about to he's going to be in a bad position. But look how close the St. Louis is. That was a mistake. I should not have launched those torpedoes. That said, I do warn when I realize what's about to, because I was focused on the battleship, not focused on the St. Louis. You can see the St. Louis took a hit. Now, it's likely his engine got knocked out. At the time, I didn't realize that, though. Look at how he's slowing to a stop. I realize the danger he's in, and I try to warn him. You know, and unfortunately, you know, yeah, see, look, Hags, torps. I'm telling him there's torps in the water, and he's stopping right in front of the in front of the enemy I shot at, and at the time I thought he was trying to block it. It didn't occur to me at the time. Yeah, I apologize, Hags. I'd like to withdraw calling you an idiot. I didn't realize at the time that he had probably been hit by the torpedoes and they'd knocked out his engine. So he really had, there was nothing he could do. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not his fault. Entirely my fault. And then the ship burns to death and I didn't even get the kill. So I would have gotten it. So now I'm down. I'm down a kill, and it's really, despite me blaming Hags at the time, really honestly it's nobody's fault but my own. But I do make up for it. So there's that Yubari. I got another piece of him. And another Kuma. It looks like he's recently got his Kuma. I think that's the early hull Kuma. Doesn't even have any, doesn't even have a paint job on it. No camo at all. And we are in trouble because we went from being very much ahead to being very, very far down. There's 3 of us left. Myself, the other cruiser, and 1 battleship against all of these cruisers and an aircraft carrier. So we very quickly went from an even-steven match to suddenly being very, very far behind. But I do my best to even things up, and I go ahead and pull a kill back. So that's actually 2 for me, even though it only, well, it says 2 in the corner, I guess. It just, the kill counter in the upper left-hand corner still says 1 because, of course, I accidentally TK'd a team member. But you can see, yeah, those guys are really, really, they know I'm here. They're coming after me. And I'm over here by the battleship, and it's just us left. And these guys are very, I gotta give props to the enemy team. They played very well. They didn't play poorly at all, but we did kind of a fail on our part. I mean, part of it was my fault, but I definitely made up for it. The rest of the team just didn't carry. Didn't look. I mean, we got myself with a kill, the battleship with a kill. One other guy has a kill, and then another guy has 2 kills, and that's it. So there's the Yubari again. I'm lighting him up. I've got to do my best to try and carry as hard as I can. Got a Citadel on him. And missed that one. That was a bad shot. Rushed it a little bit. And there we go. Got him. And I'm avoiding those torpedoes. And I'm going to shoot some torpedoes down into that area where that Kuma's coming out. See if we can't hit him with those. Turning back the other direction. And let's see, did we get the Kuma? I think he stopped, actually. Oh, and there's another Kuma back there. So we're going to take some shots at him. It's Kuma versus Kuma. And I did not hit that Kuma, but I still have my guns. And he is in perfect range for me. Citadel hit. And Citadel hit again. And Citadel hit again, and Citadel hit again, and Confederate medal. And he's burning. And I got to avoid his torpedoes. I'm going to take another shot at him, though. And goodbye. He is done. Alright, so we've just taken out... I've just taken out 3 more of the enemy. So now it's a much closer match. And I know that other Kuma's over there, but I am hurting. And I am not close enough. I do not have the attention. The battleship's busy. He's dealing with some torpedo planes, so I'm on my own. And this guy's just, oh, he gets a big hit on me. He crits me bad. I'm trying to turn. And he gets another crit on me, and it's done. Oh, and that game is over for me, and so we're down to 1 battleship. And I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna speed up the rest of this here. And we're just going to pick up the pace a little bit, and you can see they are very quickly pulling ahead of us. There goes that enemy Kuma, and in just a second I'm going to switch over to the guy on our team. Let's slow down a little bit. Here's the Miyogi. Bring it back to normal speed. And he is just being pounded by that Kohlberg. He is just absolutely being pounded on, and unfortunately the Miyogi is just not good enough to deal with this many enemies at once. He's doing his best, but you know, he's just in a... This is just one of those situations where, you know, no matter how hard you carry, there is just nothing you can do sometimes. 4 kills. Nobody else in my team even came close. But if you look at the enemy team, they have kills galore. They just straight up did better than us. And sometimes, no matter how hard you carry, there's nothing you can do. And this is what I was saying in the episode, my Destroyers episode, a couple episodes ago. It's much better to have a team where everybody gets a couple kills than a team with a superstar, because invariably you'll have one superstar and then a whole bunch of donkeys. And that's basically the setup we had here. I mean, while I certainly don't call myself a superstar, boy did we have a team full of donkeys. And I'm just gonna quickly go to the free camera, and you can see, look, this guy's just getting lit up from all angles, and he is just in a bad way. And here come the torpedo planes, and it's all over but the crying, folks. He actually, wow, those torps didn't do as much damage to him as I thought they would. And ignore the chat, we're just having a big confusing conversation that doesn't mean anything else. Or that doesn't mean anything. I don't even know what was going on, who was talking to who. So, but like I said, good game to all well played to the enemy team. They certainly outplayed us. I tried to carry, but well, sometimes there's only so much you can do. And as expected, it is indeed a defeat. I got 183,413 credits, 1,398 experience on the defeat, and 66 free experience. And of course, rather nasty fine, 17,312 credits and 78 experience lost for accidentally sinking a teammate. Did manage to get the Confederate Award despite that, though. 4 kills, only 1 hit with the torpedoes, 6 incapacitations, 4 set on fire, 6 Citadel hits. Really, I was on target with the guns. I was on fire this game. To be honest, if I had not, except for the derp with the torpedoes and sinking my own teammate, I would have had a fantastic game. As it was, I had a good game, just not good enough. And if we go to the personal score, you can see there, obviously it only shows 3, even though I actually did 4, because obviously you lose 1 when you kill a teammate. 4 kills with the Kuma, top of my team. The Miyogi did actually end up with 2 kills. He killed that Kohlberg right at the end. He managed to, him and the Kohlberg took each other out. Our Wix got 2, and then Sergeant Stakas in the Yubari is the only one who got anything else, and he got a 1 kill. The Langley shot down a bunch of planes but didn't sink anybody. And the Itsukaze shot down a plane, oddly enough. The other team they just simply did better than us, and more of them did better than us. Kohlberg got 2, the Yubari got 2, the Wix got 2, the Kuma got 1, the Ityaslav got 1. The Akuma that sunk me, Lightstone, I was the second kill. The Langley got 3 on the other team. Karlsruhe that survived didn't get any, but oddly enough, the Dursky actually got 1. So, I mean, they just straight up outplayed us, and my playing just wasn't enough. There just weren't enough good enough players on our team. They simply outplayed us. And when we go to my personal score, I got 19,193 AP shell hit points of AP shell damage. 18,131 HE shell hits, 6,998 fires set, and 1,681 points of damage for torpedoes. 24 torpedoes launched, only one hit. And I don't know if it subtracts off damage done to friendlies, or if that is the damage I did to the friendly. But I'm pretty sure I got more than that one, because I also know I hit that Wix right at the beginning. And there you have it. And that was too big a load to carry. Well, you tell me, what do you think? Am I judging this improperly? Did my team actually play okay but was just simply outplayed? Or did I really have a team of donkeys, and even though I'm certainly no unicorn, was I just simply the best player on the team that day? I don't know. You be the judge. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, if you're enjoying this series and you wish me to continue it, please do subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's video, please do leave a like. It helps me out a lot. And thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode.